The Chicago Police Memorial Foundation and Pause Chicago just announced a new public art installation and fundraising campaign.
So approximately 300 giant German shepherds, just like this statue here, will be placed along Michigan Avenue. So here to tell us more are one of the artists, Erica Vazana, and project manager for the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, John Gordon. So good morning. It's so great to see you both.
Good morning.
Yes. And good to see you again.
Thank you.
And who is this? We should introduce this great fellow.
So he's affectionately known as McCarthy, is what the sponsor told me yesterday.
Okay,
I think it's a little homage to our past superintendent.
Oh, so incredibly sweet. Now, Erica, you were an artist, but this one is not yours, because as we're looking at it, who did paint this one?
Chicago Police Officer Peter Bucks.
Oh, so wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and German Shepherds were chosen because they are really special to police forces everywhere, right?
Correct. So, I mean, really, it's a partner and a great asset to the Chicago Police Department. There's just shy of 70 dogs that assist in all facets. They're bomb-sniffing dogs at the airport, drug dogs. You know, these guys really, they go home with the officer and very integral part of the police department.
So amazing. Right. Erica, how long does it take? First of all, I love when we do this, but now this is particularly special. But how long does it take to make one of these pieces of art?
Pieces of art.
Yeah.
You get them, they're blank canvases. So you prep them, you prime it, you base coat it. Working with your commission, whoever, what they want. So total hours about 30 to 40 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. Coming up with the concept and that whole thing. Oh, wow, look at the skyline.
Something like that. I mean, Peter did an amazing job. His detail is just incredible.
And Peter's also an officer as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So the fact that he found the time to do this.
I don't know how he does that. Yeah.
How many of these are we going to see across the city? And then if you're a business and you're like, wait, I want one in front of my office, can that still happen?
Absolutely. So the initiative was just launched a couple days ago. Our goal is 300. We're just kind of piggybacking off the success of Horses of Honor, which was another public art initiative that we had a couple of years ago. We had just over 100 pieces, and I just think based on the success of that initiative, we could hit 300 easily, especially with the involvement of Pause Chicago.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our goal. So if people are interested, they want to commission a dog, they could visit our website at chicagocanines.com. That's the letter K, the number 9, and the letter S, chicagocanines.com.
Now, how is the money being raised with this? Is it just through the commissions, or are there other ways that people can donate? And then where does the money go?
So, of course, we'll make money off the actual purchase of the dog. The dog is $2,000. It's an additional $500 if the sponsor wants to keep the piece. And then some of the more higher-end pieces like sports teams, or Chicago PD, the TV show, did a horse during Horses of Honor. So those higher end pieces went to auction. So that's our goal. If we get some higher end sponsors, we'll send those to auction afterwards. So, and then the money raised, at least from the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation aspect, will go to help the families of fallen and catastrophically injured Chicago police officers.
John, you're a Gold Star family member. You lost your brother, who is a police officer. What does that mean to your family to be part of that memorial fund?
I mean, selfishly, my brother's 3 kids benefit from our programs. He left behind a little girl and 2 sons, and they're off at college, and we're there to help them. It's horrible to lose someone, but you see what the loss of a police officer can do to a family, and I think it's because they're so selfless. They are out there, when the shots are being fired, they're running at the shots. They're not running away. So, they go to assist strangers. And here we are today. Peter Bucks is a Chicago police officer first. He couldn't be here today because he's out there working as a gang enforcement officer. So, very selfless individuals, and what a great program, especially in today's climate when people view law enforcement as the bad guy. But most society has a different opinion, and they want to support law enforcement, and they want to know how they can do it. Well, here we are. Canines for Cops is a great vehicle to support the Chicago Police Department.
Oh, so beautifully said. This is going to be very meaningful to a lot of people who do see these. Already when it came in, right, we were like, oh, it has so many different meanings.
He's a handsome fella.
When you see him.
Now, if you actually saw a real canine officer that big, I think things might change. If you want to learn more about how you can support the project, visit chicagocanines.com. That's the letter K, 9, and the letter S.com. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
you.
And
Thank you,
the best of luck with
Thank you.
another successful
Thank you.
exhibit.
Plan to be painting away.
Paint
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be my favorite one so far.
So
really,
fun.
honestly, can't wait to see them. So.
Well, today, about 70 dogs help our police officers protect the city of Chicago. Simon is one of them, and the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation is backing a new public art initiative called Canines for Cops. So here this morning, besides Simon, who we've all fallen in love with here, is John Gordon, the project manager for the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, as well as Pat McGrath, who is part of the CPD Canine unit, and he is Simon's official owner. Thanks for coming in to all of you guys this morning,
so much for
including
having
Simon.
us.
What a big, happy puppy we have there.
Big.
Okay, so tell us about this this program and how it all came about.
Sure. Just kind of springboarding off the success of our Horses of Honor initiative back in 2014. I'm sure you saw around the city, and especially on the Mag Mile, life-size CPD mounted unit horse statues. They were commissioned by sponsors, painted by various local artists. So just kind of springboarding off the success of that campaign, we thought, how can we incorporate a new initiative, and who can we focus on? What can we focus on? So, of course, we came up with the police canine. We have one of the statues here
let's
today.
look at this. That is amazing. And where will we see these?
So we'll see them on the Mag Mile beginning on July 23rd through Labor Day, and hopefully all around the city. The Mart, Navy Pier, you know, in a lot of sponsors' lobbies, buildings.
And so the money for this is going specifically to what cause, which is why we have the officer here today, right?
Sure. So the funding will go to the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, and we are the charity that serves the men and women of the Chicago Police Department. We're there to care for the families of fallen and severely injured Chicago police officers. And we also partnered with Paws Chicago. They bring a lot to the table, and being a renowned charity in the city of Chicago, highlighting dogs and cats, it made perfect sense.
Very, very nice. Okay, Pat, tell us about the importance. Well, first of all, tell us what Simon's job is and the importance of these canine units.
Simon's #1 job is to support the people in patrol, which are the people that have the hardest job in the Chicago Police Department. It's our patrol officers of every watch. We work first watch, which means midnights. Simon, his job is to attempt to help the officers whenever they need to find someone, whether that be an armed offender or a wanted offender, or whether that be a missing child or somebody with disabilities, missing people. Simon's jobs are he's got a big plate. He has a lot of different facets to his job, and he can find weapons, he can find shell casings that are freshly fired from a weapon.
Tell me what's one of the latest things that he's done that's impressed you the most.
Well, I'm impressed with them every day. Constantly impressed with them. But most recently on somebody that shot at police officers, some of our own. We were lucky that day, but Simon was able to locate some items that are going to be of evidentiary value to that case, and I can't go into it further, but Simon did a really great job that day, so
it's just as
I'm proud of
important
him.
as your fellow officers, too.
Oh, absolutely, and he's loved out there, too.
Well,
so
I can see he's just a big old puppy.
He
He's
just
so
is
adorable.
a big old puppy, he is.
Okay,
he's a happy guy.
He's a doll. Let's talk about a little more about these statues. Now, in the past, when you guys have done these things, they have been auctioned off afterwards. Is that it is going to be happening this year?
Sure. So Sponsor has the ability to purchase the dog for $2,000. We will either pair them with an artist. Sometimes the sponsor has an artist. This piece was actually created by a Chicago police officer.
Wow.
Peter Bucks, a Chicago police officer and also an artist. And this is our flagship dog.
Okay, this is amazing, and I wish the people at home could see a little more, but the way it's seated, you can't see. Tell us about some of the artwork that we will find on these and what it's describing.
So it's really up to the sponsor. A lot of sponsors, maybe they want their company reflected, maybe a logo, and some sponsors, like this sponsor, just kind of left it an open canvas. So the officer, you know, as you can see, he's got faces of fallen officers on there. He's incorporated the skyline. And he's really set the bar high for this being the flagship dog.
Very, very beautiful. How much money do you hope to raise with this campaign?
Our goal is 200 dogs, about $300,000, and with the partnership with Paw Chicago, we could certainly exceed 200. And just looking at this in studio, I think that's very doable.
And I'm wondering, Pat, how much does it cost you guys to keep these dogs?
Well, we're blessed. So a lot of departments, we at the Chicago Police Department, we have our food is paid for, his medical benefits are paid for. So we're blessed, and he's got a vest coming. So we're actually blessed, but a lot of other departments don't have that benefit. It sure is. It sure is.
And then tell us about the website that we can go to if we want to help out. Let's get one last shot, too, before we go afterwards of Simon.
ChicagoCanines.com. That's the letter K, the number 9, and the letter S, ChicagoCanines.com.
Okay, great place to donate to. I don't know what you have in that Kong, but Simon is very happy.
He was good. We did some training not long ago, so he's good.
The Chicago Police Memorial Foundation started in 2004 in an effort to help the families of CPD officers who paid the greatest sacrifice. Now, if you don't know much about what it does, in recent years you may have seen those brightly colored fiberglass horses which popped up throughout the city. Major fundraiser for the foundation, and one about to reemerge downtown, this time taking on a whole new look. You may have seen the brightly colored, sparkling horse statues which once lined the Magnificent Mile, many of them paying tribute to Chicago police officers who paid the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. The Horses of Honor program through the Chicago Police Foundation helped raise $800,000 for officers' families over the last 2 years. And a new figure is about to join the force: Canines for Cops. This summer, 200 canine statues will line Michigan Avenue, reminding passerbys about the police lives lost and those family members left behind.
If you have a police officer and he's injured, she's injured, the family is the ones that typically suffer the most. That second income goes away. And the Police Memorial, the mission beyond the memorial, was created to fill that void.
To raise funds, the white 4.5 feet tall German Shepherd statues went on sale today. Sponsors purchased the pieces and partner with artists to create unique designs which will go on public display this summer before being auctioned off for the foundation. The Chicago Police Memorial Foundation is partnering with Paw Chicago in the new public art campaign to also benefit the department's 65 four-legged officers.
So a portion of the funds Paws will receive will also be going to the police to help those dogs that are, they need more vests or whatever needs they have in the city. There are so many, over 55 of these dogs that are helping at O'Hare Airport. They're helping the policemen. They're helping bomb squads. I mean, they do so many great things.
Since 2007, the foundation has raised and donated close to $8 million for police families. Last year alone, $250,000 was spent helping the families of fallen officers pay for education. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says it's important, more now than ever, to remember those families left behind.
It's a really tough time right now for law enforcement across the country, not alone just in Chicago. And these things do help those families in need when police officers are catastrophically injured or killed in the line of duty. It's our obligation to ensure that those families are well taken care of.
Those decorated statues will be on display in Chicago from July 23rd through Labor Day. If you'd like to help out, blank ones are now available for sponsorship. We're going to put the information on our webpage at WGNTV.com/features. So you'll see them again this summer.
Very good.